How to develop a control chart. First, you want to determine what progress and data to measure. Then collect observations or samples to measure, such as discrete or continuous data. Discrete data is something that you can count that is finite or set, such as the number of beds in a hospital. Continuous data has an infinite number of possibilities. For example, how many minutes does it take to prep, scan, and index a medical record? You can then determine what type of control chart you want to use. For our presentation, we will use a continuous data control chart. Next, you must calculate the mean and standard deviation for your data set. Based on your sample size, you will also need to calculate the upper and lower control limits. As you can see on this next slide, we have an example of a continuous data control chart. Each section of the chart is labeled showing the upper control limit, the control line or central line dependency, and the lower control limit. It also shows our samples represented by dots scattered across the chart. Of the 6 samples, one is above the UCL, which means that this sample has a variation off from the central control area. The symmetrical bell curve represents an even distribution of the samples. If the bell curve leaned more towards the right or left of the central line of tendency, it is said to be skewed. As a result, those samples are causing a variation that we must investigate.